How did the strongest tribe of the North turn into prey? How did people, armed with the most perfect weapon on Earth, become helpless in the face of nature? The answer lies not in muscles, but in neurobiology. There is a law of the brain: use it or lose it. Look at this warrior. This is Archaim's best hunter. In his hands is obsidian, sharper than steel. But his brain, deprived of its usual stress load, is failing. A split second of doubt, a trembling hand. In the Ice Age, this is a death sentence. Just 1 month ago, these people were the apex of the food chain. Now they are dying. To understand this catastrophe, we must go back in time, to the moment when you triggered this process yourselves. 1 month ago, history stood at a fork. You chose Path B, Alliance. R made a difficult decision: to save the tribe from starvation and gain access to technology. He took a second wife, the daughter of the southern chieftain. It was a political marriage. Leah, his first wife, was forced to make room at the hearth. In return, R opened his caves to the southerners, saving them from the cold, and gained access to their knowledge. The deal seemed ideal, the warmth of the caves in exchange for technology. But R did not calculate that along with a new wife and new tools, he invited dependency into the camp. But the first disappointment came with practice. Technology is a package deal. The Southerners insisted that R's tribe learn to weave nets. This technology was born in a temperate climate where rivers flow freely. But here, in the north, it becomes a curse. We see R's hunters trying to use nets on the river. At -30 degrees Celsius, the wet nettle fiber freezes instantly, turning into a brittle ice frame. To break through a meter of ice to set the net, a hunter spends 3,000 calories. The catch, a few small fish, provides only 300. This is negative energy economics. R sees his best warriors wasting time tying useless knots while herds of reindeer pass by. Here, Southern wisdom has proven useless. Among all the debris the Southerners brought, there was only one thing that worked: volcanic glass. Look at how life in the camp has changed. Before, to butcher a woolly rhino carcass with a flint scraper, it took the tribe half a day of heavy labor. Now, with obsidian, it takes minutes. This is an economic miracle. The tribe spends less energy, which means they need less food. But there is a hook hidden within this ease. If the obsidian disappears tomorrow, the tribe won't die. They can return to flint, but it will be a great regression. They will once again have to spend hours doing what they now do in seconds. Their development will stop. They will become slaves to hard labor once again. The fear of losing this comfort makes R vulnerable. The problem is that R does not control the source of this comfort. When the baskets of stone run empty, the Southerners prepare for a journey. R tries to send his trackers with them, but his new wife's relatives refuse. They walk into the white mist alone. They leave no map. They show no landmarks. They do not explain how to extract the stone from the frozen earth. Ah stands at the cave entrance, watching them leave. He realizes he has walked into a trap. Right now, he is the warlord of the strongest tribe, armed with the sharpest weapon. But if these people do not return from the mist, in a week, his tribe will become the most helpless on Earth. He does not own the technology. He is merely a consumer. Hunger forces a return to proven methods. An decides to kill something big. He leads the hunters on the trail of a woolly rhino. Now, in their hands, they hold not old wooden spears with flint tips, but new, gleaming spears tipped with obsidian. The warriors feel like gods. They are certain this weapon will pierce the beast through and through. Their confidence has a scientific basis. The edge of an obsidian flake is only 3 nanometers thick. This is 500 times sharper than steel. But the warriors forget the second law of material science. Hardness does not mean toughness. The moment of truth arrives instantly. The hunter makes a perfect throw. The spear flies into the rhino's flank. A northerner is used to flint, a viscous stone that might slip or stick upon hitting bone, but won't break. But obsidian is glass. Upon impact with the massive rhino bone, a catastrophe occurs. The tip does not pierce the armor, it explodes. The kinetic energy of the throw goes not into the wound, but into the destruction of the weapon itself. The beast receives only a scratch. It is enraged, and the hunter stands before a killing machine, holding a useless stick. The soldier pays for the engineer's miscalculation. The enraged rhino attacks. Shards of glass in its hide cause pain, but do not stop it. We see the horn toss a man into the air. To survive, the others are forced to use rocks and old clubs. They drive the beast away not with technology, but with primal fury. They drag the wounded man to camp. Ah looks at the trail of blood and realizes the southern miracle does not work against northern tanks. Imported technology has crashed against reality. A gloomy silence reigns in the camp. Leah, the first wife, approaches Ah. She throws the remains of the black glass into the fire. Then she pulls out an old, rough flint tip. It is ugly, it is blunt, but it is whole. This is the moment of cultural resistance. The hunters look at the southerners with hatred. Leah triumphs. She has proven that the alliance with the strangers was a mistake. Ar feels power slipping away. If he continues to force the glass, he will be overthrown. If he refuses it, the tribe's development stops and they will starve again. Ar retreats deep into the cave. He seeks a compromise between the toughness of the north and the sharpness of the south. And he finds it. Not in politics, but in engineering. He takes an antler and carves a groove into it. Then he glues small, sharp obsidian blades, microliths, into the groove. This is the birth of composite tools. A modular spear. If it hits bone, only a few small teeth break. The base remains intact. Repairs take seconds. It is the Kalashnikov of the Stone Age. Cheap, repairable, and deadly effective. In the morning, R reveals the new weapon. The tribe is in awe. But a production problem arises. One person cannot make this spear alone. It needs someone who can nap small blades perfectly, the Southerners, and someone who can carve bone grooves and kill the Northerners. R draws a line on the cave floor. Left, the workshop. Right, the barracks. For the first time in history, the weapon creation process is divided into stages. R creates an industrial assembly line. The technology is saved, but the social price is high. Now R must decide exactly how this assembly line will work, considering the secret of the stone still belongs to the Southerners. Path A, caste system or segregation. R strictly divides duties. The Southerners are forbidden to touching weapons they only craft. The Northerners guard and control them. Risk, leverage. If the Southerners dislike being living machines, they will simply stop bringing the stone. No one else knows where to find it. The tribe risks running out of raw material. Bonus, maximum production speed here and now. Path B, assimilation or mixing. R orders them to mix. The Southerners must teach the Northerners to nap stone and show them the mine. The Northerners must teach the Southerners to hunt. Risk, drop in quality. Hunters make crooked blades, Southerners make bad warriors. We lose efficiency for the sake of equality. Bonus, a unified people. If the Southerners leave or die, the knowledge remains with R. What is more important for the survival of the Empire? Perfect efficiency or independence from specialists? Make your choice in the comments.